Hello and welcome back to Critic Reviews. This week on our quest to review ponies and analyse the ever-living crap out of them, this week on our show we'll be taking a look into an episode long loved by me. It contains one of my favourite songs from the entire season, and with how many episodes has songs this season, that's saying something. This episode is Bats, one which I heavily enjoyed on the first viewing, if only because of the music. So, roll the intro. Bats is an enjoyable episode of Fim, and I want to state that I actually do like this episode. It had plenty of laughs in it and didn't cause me to facepalm at all, which is a big deal with episodes by Meriwether-Williams, as they're not always the best episodes in the world. I'm sure you're all well aware of what I mean. With episodes like Mysterious Murderwell under her belt, she hasn't exactly created a positive image for herself as one of the writers. So let's begin with the review. I enjoyed the song featuring in this episode that doesn't actually have a title other than the simple title Bats. During the song, the animation makes very clever use of imagery between Applejack and Fluttershy. The image appears darker and uses more grand instruments with Applejack, and is the exact opposite when Fluttershy is on the screen singing about how the bats aren't evil and should probably be given a chance. They probably couldn't beat me over the head more with whose opinion should be the right one, even if they put up a big neon sign saying Applejack is bad, Fluttershy is good. I mean, seriously, very subtle, guys. Moving on, during the song, something very bad caught my eye, something very mind-boggling and doesn't fit with the tone this show should be going for. Rarity has a line that goes like this.
Well, I for one don't have a doubt, these vermin must be stamped right out.
You know, stamped right out doesn't really sound a whole lot like friendship. Sounds kinda like Rarity wants to kill them all, extinguish them just for being what they're supposed to be, punishing them because they don't know any other way to be. Though thankfully, Twilight comes up with a more acceptable solution, but even that solution isn't so good, forcing the bats to be something that they're not, taking away the one thing that makes them who they are. It brings up a whole moral issue and just rings alarm bells in my head. Something that also triggers a bullshit alarm is Twilight's attitude in this episode during the song. What annoys me most is that Twilight gets involved with this witch hunt. The newly appointed Alicorn Princess of Friendship is jumping on the bandwagon, which makes me wonder why she's even got the title of Princess in the first place. She doesn't do anything with it, and she doesn't use it for the better part of Season 4, when that's what the series should have been focusing on ever since Twilight became an Alicorn. And I think Applejack was being far too hasty here. While being arguably the one with the most to lose, seeing as how it's her farm and her livelihood at risk, she does make a few decisions here that most would consider rash or misinformed, and even when she is informed, she just completely ignores absolutely reasonable advice. And you could argue that maybe Fluttershy really was being too kind to these creatures, and maybe they were monsters with no sense of right or wrong. But as it turns out, the bats have some semblance of sentience, so the whole plan worked out well in the end, though that doesn't excuse Applejack from being very out of character. Anyway, this episode is a great one, and the problems aren't so big that they become an issue, so all in all I actually enjoyed this episode thoroughly, and is one of my favourites of Season 4, certainly beaten by many others, though. Thanks for tuning in to listen to me ramble on about ponies. I'm the Ponyville Critic, and I sincerely look forward to hearing from you.